An introduction to the concepts of reuse and some typical CourseBuilder deployment examples. CourseBuilder is designed to improve, speed up and professionalize instructor-led training, or ILT, course development, management and publishing. This presentation will introduce you to the concept of reuse of learning content with instructor-led courseware. Once you see the other tutorials, you will see how CourseBuilder improves your operating procedures, course management process and working practices. ILT course development, common media formats. Before we discuss reuse concepts, let us take a quick look at the different media formats that a vast amount of training departments use for instructor-led training delivery and student handouts. Many companies or organisations cannot afford the luxury of instructional designers or course developers because these specialists are normally employed to produce complex, interactive e-learning material using such tools as Articulate or Captivate. A large amount of instructor-led training is developed and produced by instructors. As a result, the common media used to create or develop courseware is PowerPoint or PowerPoint with Word, because they do not require too much expertise. This is how these applications are utilised. PowerPoint with Word. The instructor-led slide deck is in PowerPoint and the student handout in Word. The PowerPoint acts as a visual element to the instruction. The slide is then copied into the Word page above supporting notes in the student handout document. The shortfall of this is there are two file types to manage, and sometimes the slide can get out of sync with the notes below. This can occur when an instructor changes a slide and fails to modify the notes, or they are not skilled enough in Word to carry out the updates. CourseBuilder can manage both PowerPoint and Word files, which enables efficient and effective edits and updates to be carried out. PowerPoint with Notes View. This is where the PowerPoint Notes View area is utilised to provide supporting notes to the slide above. With creative design, Notes View can be rendered to appear as a word processing document by using stylish front matter material files. The shortfall of this format is you cannot create a table of contents, or TOC, in PowerPoint. However, CourseBuilder, on the other hand, enables you to create a TOC automatically in PowerPoint or Word. PowerPoint Handout View. This is where instructor slide decks are presented in handout view for students, with two slides being placed on each page. The shortfall of this format is that there are no supporting notes, which means students soon forget what is implied by the images or bullets in the slide. Also, providing handouts without any front matter material or supporting information can make the handout look tacky. Very little effort goes into this format and it rarely appears stylish or professional, and therefore it is not recommended. Reuse concepts for instructor-led courseware. In this example, we are taking a fictitious corporation, ABC Telecom, to demonstrate reuse of PowerPoint learning material. This consists of instructor slide decks that also act as student handouts using the PowerPoint Notes view of each slide. We refer to these learning content files as reusable learning objects, or RLOs. We also use front matter material files, or sometimes referred to as shared content objects, or SCOs, to provide a stylish introduction to the learning content. I will explain more about SCOs later. The makeup of an RLO, a suggestion. Typically, RLOs may vary in size, scope and level of granularity. This can range from a single slide or page to a large amount of instruction or a full structured lesson. In the example shown, the RLO file is a complete lesson created using PowerPoint. But RLOs can also be rendered in Word if that is the way you produce student handouts. An RLO may be quite a lengthy delivery or lesson and may warrant a learning objective, followed by sequential instructional content or subject matter. Some technical and hands-on learning may require a lab or a series of exercises to verify the learning, followed by a learning evaluation or quiz, further confirming knowledge transfer. On completion of development, the RLO is placed into a learning object repository on a shared server in the corporate or organisation network and eventually added to CourseBuilder via a virtual link as a reusable file resource. Course design phase. Before we can build our course, there are some recommended pre-construction preparations that have to be made. As part of the design process of the AD approach to training implementation, we create a course storyboard or design plan in either Word, PowerPoint, Excel spreadsheet, or whatever application your department uses for course storyboards. We use this document to prepare our descriptive text, such as the course title, the course description, and course learning objectives, or as some say, the course learning outcome. We also use the course storyboard or course design plan for determining the course structure, syllabus, and learning content. Course development phase. Once the course is finally designed, we can move on to the development phase. Initially, and on a once-only basis, we would need to create our front matter material master files, which are, as stated earlier, shared content files. CourseBuilder provides our clients with working samples of front matter material masters that can easily be modified to your own style and format. Typically, there are two types of front matter material files for the three types of course style we can construct in CourseBuilder. These are the basic course and the standard and comprehensive course. In addition to course front matter material files, we have a module front matter material file, and for the basic course and modules, we would create a summary master file. When these are completed, and with all the appropriate PowerPoint or Word styles and images applied, and relevant variable text fields added, we can then concentrate our efforts on learning content development. We recommend you develop the instructional material as reusable learning objects for the course. Attempt to create and design the content so that it could be used in other courses and be useful across other training deliveries. Once the content files are created, they should be logically named, then placed in the knowledge object repository. These repositories would contain all our pre-prepared lessons and learning content that could eventually be used or shared in any other course as required. Once we have created, reviewed, and tested our reusable learning objects and shared content object files, we are ready to begin the process of constructing, publishing, and printing our course. Typical basic course structure. Finally, there is a need to explain what a basic course build looks like. This diagram shows you graphically what it would look like using PowerPoint as your source files. To the left here, and placed at the top of the files in the course build container, we have the front matter material file, or FMM. A 4-slide version is shown in this example. The front matter material file is similar to a template in that it will dictate what the remaining slides in the course will look like on publish. It not only provides the images and course title text field, but a series of variable text fields that are placed in strategic positions in the document. So, let us look at a PowerPoint front matter material file in Notes view, which would typically be used as a student handout. On the front, or cover page, we have a course title variable, along with corporate graphics to make it appear like a Word type document. At the top and bottom of the page we have headers and footers respectively, with either fixed text or variables. When the course is eventually published, these variables are replaced by text from the CourseBuilder course properties page. For page number 2 in the FMM file, we have an optional copyright and any disclaimer details. Page number 3, we have our course description and objectives text fields with predisposed variables, which CourseBuilder on publish replaces with the description and objectives text fields from the course properties page. Finally, for page 4, most users like to have a table of contents or TOC. On publish, CourseBuilder automatically copies the slide titles and page numbers of all slides in the newly created course file and enters them in a table on this page, again responding to a variable, which is located at the top of the page as shown here. After the front matter material file, we then drag and drop or add the lessons or RLOs into the build container and arrange them in the correct order for instructional delivery from top to bottom, ending with a summary file which can be at a bare minimum a single slide or page. In this example, we have a typical basic course sandwich which consists of a FMM file, 3 RLOs or lessons, and a summary file. A basic course would typically be a short course and probably no longer than 1 day in duration. CourseBuilder, simple reuse concepts. We will now show you how reuse can be employed within a typical course development scenario using CourseBuilder. Our fictitious company, ABC Telecom, have a sales department and 3 major product groups, these being IP services, switching and network management. Each of these groups have a training development team who have created a course for their products. Each team have content repositories that other teams have access to through CourseBuilder graphical user interface. In this example, they are folders named Sales RLO Repos, IP RLO Repos, Switching RLO Repos, and NM RLO Repos. To ensure each training team use the one standard PowerPoint style format and template, they use CourseBuilder to access the corporate front matter material files or shared content object files repository. The FMM is placed at the top of the course build as shown here. Another SCO file is the summary file, which we append at the end of the course, and as its name implies, it contains the course summary. In effect, FMM files are similar to 2 slices of bread in a sandwich, with RLOs forming the filling. Each product group have produced operator or user courses for their individual products, and the content is compiled by the use of their own trainers or training developers collaborating with respective subject matter experts or SMEs to ensure the content is accurate and extant at that time. Therefore, each course is built using learning objects or lessons that are placed in logical order of delivery as shown. Using the IP services course example, it consists of an introduction to the IP products, then there is the installation lesson, and finally a configuration lesson. The other groups have similar but not necessarily the same course structures. However, what they do have in common is an introduction to their products, which is what the sales team want to reuse in their product sales course they are creating. Rather than reinvent the wheel and possibly get it wrong by writing their own product overviews, they wish to use each product group's RLO. They only have to add their own sales RLOs with pricing and competition details, etc. This has saved duplication of effort and ensures that the SMEs or originating authors maintain the content. Any changes carried out on the RLOs later will also be reflected across all courses that have reused those files. Once a sales developer adds administrative details via the course properties form on CourseBuilder, such as course title, course description, and course objectives, they can then publish the course. It is as simple and efficient as that. CourseBuilder deployment, example 1. Before we end, I would like to show you some examples of how CourseBuilder could be deployed. In this deployment example, we have the minimum recommended use of CourseBuilder Learning Content Manager. We have a central or corporate instructional development team, each having a CourseBuilder license, and 3 product groups with developers having a license too. This will enable them to all have access to any course catalogues that have been created at the product group or corporate level. Product group course developers can create their own catalogues and courses. Any learning content or RLOs are placed in their group's RLO repositories and then notify corporate developers that they are there or allow access to their catalogues. The corporate or central catalogue is mapped to the published course repository, and any courses that are published or updated are placed in there by CourseBuilder after publishing. Field trainers or regional instructors are notified of courses that have been updated, so they can get access to the published courses as and when they need to. Field trainers or regional instructors could also be given licenses and have access to catalogues, but this may not be desired by the corporate or product group course developers. They may wish trainers only to be given access to the final, published courseware and not be allowed to change RLOs without supervision. CourseBuilder deployment, example 2. This example is where a training organisation does not have the luxury of instructional designers or developers in either the product groups or maybe only limited support at corporate headquarters. This is where the instructors or field trainers are provided with CourseBuilder licenses, which allows them to get access to the course catalogues and carry out edits, updates and publishing. This type of deployment is more likely with small training organisations where the instructors carry out the majority of the course development. These instructor developers may not necessarily be located in regional offices, but could all be operating from the one central corporate location. That concludes the introduction to reuse concepts with instructor-led learning content using CourseBuilder. Please take time to look at the other tutorials in this series, or do not hesitate to contact support@coursebuilder.net. Thank you.